Monster Hunter World offers a variety of weapons that can be modified and upgraded to suit your needs in any type of battle. But what if you didn't have to do any of that? Can you beat Monster Hunter World with the default sword and shield? Let's just jump into it. Not even 5 minutes into the playthrough, and I already make my first mistake. I deleted my Keanu Reeves save file to make room for this challenge. Reddit is gonna kill me for that one. After talking to a man who's trying to hide his balding, I get to decide who my character should be. After a bit of thinking, I came to the conclusion that since this is a Sword and Shield playthrough, I would relate my character to Pokemon Sword and Shield, so I named my character Gloria. I thought for a bit whether I should take the Defender armor or not, but seeing as how they give it to you right off the bat, I decided it was okay to make my life a little bit easier. I named my cat Zamazenta because I don't own Pokemon Shield. After sitting through more shitty lip syncing, our boat gets yeeted, my cat gets deleted, and I jump on a volcano that's heated. More unskippable cutscenes later, and we finally make it to Astera, where a primal rage was refueled inside me. This fucking cutscene. The moment she touches my cat, the cutscene becomes the equivalent of 2 nuclear bombs being dropped on 2 unsuspecting cities during World War II. Please give a round of applause for the first person to win the Worst Person of the Decade award from Time magazine. After my hatred for the handler was restored, it was time to start the fighting. I grabbed my sword and went out on my first mission. I was instructed to pull an Anakin and slaughter countless children. Then their mom came, so I cut open her stomach in front of her kids before giving them the same fate Disney gave Finn's character arc in The Last Jedi. Next up was the Ku Klux bird. He wasn't in any way difficult, but I did learn that the shield bash combo is the best, and only use that and the launch combo for the majority of the game. I watched as Baroth basically committed suicide, and fought the second most annoying creature this game has to offer. Tobuscus was a joke. I was surprised it wasn't a shiny, seeing as how I hunted it 50 times in my original character. Next up was Ants in My Pants, who was surprisingly one of the easiest monsters I faced in this run. His attacks were easily dodgeable, and I could slip through his legs like Ganon from the final fight in Ocarina of Time. Once I put my RC T-Rex toy in the recycle bin, it was time for the first Zora Mangros fight. I'm going to be honest, I was scared of this fight, because I thought I would have to damage him with the cannons. But I learned that you can attack his hand when he slams a cannon. This information will be extremely useful in the second fight. Even luckier, the entire first stage is scripted so that I didn't really have to do anything. After we get sad that we couldn't catch a literal walking volcano, it was time to find the pineapple under the sea. But lo and behold, the handler fucks up, and now I'm talking to the first place winner on wikifeed.com. After deleting my search history, I went to find SpongeBob, ended up finding a walking flashbang, then fought the first most annoying creature, Paolumu. I don't want to talk about it. Now it was time to go into the aftermath of SpongeBob's Sunday. The fight against Radaban was something I wasn't looking forward to, but as it turned out, a well-timed shield bash combo can interrupt his rolling. So I proceeded to spam that combo the entire fight. Once I put it in the old Crumpus sack, I took a break. Only I forgot to stop recording and had an hour of me watching George Sprave. When it was time to return to the fold, realized I didn't hit the record button during the Lagania fight, but just know I used the tried and true method, spamming flash pods. After the handler fucks up again, came the worst part of the low rank run, Odogaron. The problem with this fight was that not only does he do an absurd amount of damage, despite the armor I am wearing, he also causes bleeding damage. Bleeding is extremely annoying, because unlike poison where you can drink something to get rid of it, or being on fire where you stop, drop, and roll to extinguish it, bleeding requires you to crouch and not move to get rid of it. Stopping in the middle of combat is never good, no matter what fight you're in. Dealing with its bleeding and trying to keep my health up at the same time was an annoying chore. But after a while, I managed to put him to sleep. Right as I get back home, Dad sends me out to find one of his boomer friends. So we climbed a tree, found a dragon, and a runaway bride. Boomer Bride here told us he'd take us to Zeo Volcano if we captured Yveltal from Pokemon X and a vegan. Naturally, I went for the vegan first. I found out that Diablos is not in fact blind, but has very tiny eyes under his horns. For some reason, Diablos kept running from me. Every time I got a good volley of attacks and dodges, he would book it to the next area. The fight wasn't bad, it just took longer than I thought, because I couldn't do a lot of damage. Rathalos was an embarrassment. Despite being the poster child for nearly most of the Monster Hunter games, he was surprisingly stupid. He literally caused his own downfall. After I literally destroyed that creature, it was time for the fight that I was most scared of, the second Zora Magdaros fight. This fight isn't scripted, so if the barrier gets destroyed, then the mission is over. However, I was very hopeful because of the new information I got from the first fight. I went on his back, destroyed 3 of the cores, couldn't get the head because it kept knocking me off. Then when it came time to defend the barrier, Zora put his head on the barrier, and I went to town dealing as much damage as I could. But then I looked at how much health he had, and all the hope I acquired left me like my wife's boyfriend leaving for college. After a few minutes of sadness, I made a mistake that led to a discovery. I found that not only can you jump on Zora's arm and damage it, but you can get back on him. This knowledge once again gave me newfound hope. I went and destroyed all of the magma cores I missed, but alas, that wasn't enough to take down this giant beast. I looked up to see if anyone had beaten Zora Magdaros without using any cannons, and a video from Honan Sheen had shown me that it was possible to beat him without doing so. However, he was using upgraded weapons like a normal person, and was beating it with very well-timed combos. However, I am bad at well-timed combos, and I'm using the literal disgusting piece of garbage that this game actually offers you. Obviously, I couldn't deal enough damage even with this newfound strat. So, with this knowledge in mind, I had no choice but to beat him the normal way. This generally means I failed the challenge. But not only did that fight deliver a shitstorm of disappointment to my front door, the next thing will truly shock you. When I went online to download Monster Hunter Iceborne just so I can see the new updates they added, I opened up my game and found out that all of my save data was gone. They told me that there was nothing compatible for the save data, and my sword and shield and my original character was deleted. Zora Magdaros had officially ruined my day, and Monster Hunter Iceborne, despite being the DLC I was looking forward to playing the most, had eventually made it so that I was ready to rip my hair out. So not only did I fail to beat the game with only a sword and shield, I failed to beat the game at all.